What is up, YouTube? This is DBZ49 coming at you with another first place at locals deck profile, and this time it's Virtual World with the Destiny Hero package. I recently took this deck to my locals and I went 4-0. Let me quickly break down my matchups. So round 1 I played Heroes, I went 2-0. Round 2 I played the mirror match in Virtual World, just pure Virtual World, and I went 2-0. Round 3 I played Altergeist, I went 2-0. And in the final round, I played Drytron. I did go 2-1, but it was a really good match because he was a really good pilot. So that's it for my matchups. We'll get onto the deck profile. It's a little bit unconventional, but I think it works, and I'll kind of explain what the end board is. So without any further ado, let's start the deck profile with the main deck. Starting off with the virtual monsters, you play Triple Lulu, obviously, the searcher of the deck. You always want to see her, and if you don't, you can just use Qinglong to search her, so that's really good. Level 3 tuner, starts all your plays. Next up, Laolao, also my personal, it's really good, being able to rank 6 or Synchro, revive from grave, so good in the late game. These two is Laolao and Lulu are the cards you want to see for your follow-up. Next up, Triple Kirin, the Double Foolish Burial, really good for dumping your trap in Qinglong. Sometimes sending Jiji or Nyannyan to load up grave for Laolao, for example. Next up, Triple Jiji, another one of my personal favorites. Just the scar of the deck, and just sometimes you forget, forgetfully on sometimes you forget using his effect end phase, so just be aware for that. Okay, now this is where the deck kind of deviates from your standard build. One Nyannyan. The thing is, it'll make sense why I play one Nyannyan, but you just have to make space for the Fusion Destiny package, and I'll kind of explain what I cut for that. Let's go on, and Nyannyan just in general is a good extender, so recurs your banish stuff as well. Onto our hand trap lineup, Triple Ash. No need to really explain what it does, but pretty standard hand trap. Triple Nibiru. For this card, I will mention that you're gonna have to, or as a pro tip, if you resolve Nibiru, I recommend leaving the token in attack mode unless the defense of the token is really, really small. But the reason why you want to leave the token in attack mode, say you're going turn 2, you resolve Nibiru, and they have a token in attack mode, and it's your turn. So there's multiple ways to out it in the extra deck. One, obviously, Crystal Wing. You can run over the token. 2, you can also what is it? You can use Utopia Beyond as a rank 6 to pop it or to run over it. And then obviously outside of that, you have multiple spot removal in the extra deck, but leaving an attack mode in particular is good for Utopia Beyond and Crystal Wing. Last of the hand traps, Triple Gamma. I see a lot of players cutting this. I still think it's correct because sometimes players will try to Ash the Kauwloon, and then if you have this, it's just so plus for you. And then obviously being able to sync with level 2 Gamma with Stardust Charge Ward, so hard makes Crystal Link also comes up, because people will usually Nibiru you on Tzolkin summon, not on Stardust Charge Warrior summon if you have the Gamma. So they usually don't see it coming unless games 2 and 3 you already use that trick. But at that point they'll probably play around Gamma, and Gamma is so good for cards like Lancia. It didn't come up this time, but it does come up in theory. Okay, so here's the Fusion Destiny package. So we're not playing the standard Celestial Dasher. We're playing a Denier and Double Mali. Now, what's really cool about playing a bigger Destiny Hero package as opposed to 2 Destiny Heroes is if you open the Mali, it's a really good level 6 extender, so you can always pitch it off of Qinglong and then or Xuanwu and just use it as Synchro material or Exi material. So that's really strong. So in a sense, almost you don't even want to open the Fusion Destiny, but if you open the Mali, that's really strong. And the reason why we play the Denier is because you can recycle the Mali. And what's really funny is it's also a level 3, not a level 4, a level 3. So it like if you like on the follow up, if you resolve, like let's say you open the Fusion Destiny and you resolve it and you have Phoenix Enforcer, on the follow up you're gonna get Mali and then you're gonna trigger Denier and then you're gonna recycle Mali as well. So then you can just like continue to do like ridiculous plays with because Denier's level 3 and Mali's level 6, so it just has so much good synergy with the deck, and I think this is the correct package to play instead of Dasher and Celestial. Celestial and Dasher are good like in the generic, like in other builds, because the +2 is good, but in particular, like if you open these actually are function as your combo pieces. So for these three, I cut a Nyannyan, a Call by the Grave, and Imperial Order, and then for the desires, I put in the Fusion Destiny. So you can get away with running one Nyannyan, is what I'm trying to say. Also, since it's a normal spell, you can set it to trigger Tzolkin, so that also comes up. So it's really strong. This is like I'd rather like the concept is if I saw desires, sure I'll get advantage, but if I see Fusion Destiny, I see like a potential negate. And in the mirror match, it's so busted because like they try to target their Chuche or their monster, and then you just pop it, and then you just recur. I'll talk about once I get to the extra. I'll talk about the ideal end board with Fusion Destiny or with Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, but yeah, I had to make some changes in the extra deck, so we'll discuss that when we get there. Obviously for the virtual cards, triple Kauwloon. Like you see this with the dump spell, dump a virtual world, and you're off to the races. The Kauwloon also function as a hand trap because it's a really slow imperm with Qinglong, so that's really good. And then obviously Qinglong's Grave Effect to like fix your hand is really good. And then last of the spells, double E-Telly, pretty standard. Just gets you a body on board to like trigger virtual monsters in hand. And then for the traps, again, pretty standard. One Xuanwu and double Chuche. Really good cards. Chuche being able to pump your levels. Xuanwu being able to like revive from grave is really strong. So that's it for the main deck. That is 40 cards. Let's quickly go on to the side deck. So for the side, triple Droll and Lockbird. My sides are pretty standard at this point, so if you know, you know. Triple Droll and Lockbird for like Drytron. You can even put it in for like Flaunderies. For back row hate, triple Cosmic Cyclone. A lot of people are playing Twin Twisters. I still think hand advantage is really critical in this deck, so I'm opting to go with Cosmic Cyclone. For board breakers, triple Dark Ruler no more. Another board breaker card / back row hate, triple Evenly Match. This card's really underrated. I don't see as many players playing it. And then for the off chance I'm going first, triple Anti-Spell. So this card's really good, just being able to stop your opponent, and then you just proceed to OTK. So that's it for the side. Again, pretty standard. Onto the extra. So we'll start with our Synchro monsters. Obviously, the boss monster of the deck, Shenshen. I will mention that this card doesn't have really good synergy with DPE himself, because you can't pop DPE, otherwise it gets banished, and you can't recur the... you can't trigger the revive effect. But I will say that if you do have, if you're forced to end on a board with Shenshen and DPE, you're gonna have to use DPE to pop like any other card but himself, or like if you can get away with popping the Shenshen, because it will recur itself. But it's like a double-edged sword, because DPE will banish the card that it pops if Shenshen is on the field, but I mean, like, you have to pop something else that you control, and it's a neg one on both sides, but like if it stops your opponent, it stops your opponent. So ideally you don't want to end on Shenshen DPE Crystalling. We'll discuss the end board a little bit later, but yeah, there's some conflict there. But let's say you are forced, in an example, that you are forced to pop your own DPE and something else under Shenshen, and you banish your DPE. You're going to have solid follow-up, because Mali and Denier are in the grave. So, I mean, it's not the end of the world. And usually, like, if you're in control of the game state, like, you can OTK turn 2. So, that is a possible end board, but not the ideal end board. Other Synchro 9, Vermillion Dragon Mech. Obviously, we run the Tzolkin package, the one Ultimaya Tzolkin, and the Crystal Wing itself. For the level 6s, You play the one Charge Warrior for the +1, the one Coral Dragon also for the +1, the one Jiujiu. I see some virtual players cutting it. Yeah, I still think it's really strong, especially if you have it on field with the Shenshen. So, I mean, because if you have it on field with the Shenshen, it'll banish the card instead. The one Muddy Mud Dragon, and this is another huge difference of the deck. I am playing the Dragoons. Now, see, the idea on board now is Dragoons, Crystal Wing, and DPE. Now, I know Dragoon, because if you have all 3 cards on the field, they don't, like, conflict with each other. But Dragoons will burn a card in your hand for the pitch effect, so that's kind of unfortunate. But, I mean, if you have it, you have it. I mean, it's really still really strong. And then, obviously, the DPE itself. Again, if you can't run Dragoons, I cut it for... These two in my original builds were Kaliga and Gossip Shadow. So, because I know this is still really expensive, so if you don't want to run Dragoon, you can still run, like, Gossip Shadow or, like, Totem Bird or Cicada King. Something else that is not as expensive, but, like, you can still end on Shenshen, Cicada King or Totem Bird, and then like Phoenix Enforcer. So that's a possible end board. Onto the XZs. The one Zeus, so good going. This is the game plan going second. Like you go bait bait bait, and then you go Roshi rank 6, and then you have control of the game state. The one Fan, really good. Ice Dragon's Prison on legs. The one Thunder Charger, because it helps you rank up. Off of Utopia Beyond. So you go Beyond on summon, make everything 0. It doesn't detach for the effect, and then you can stack. Obviously, go Battle Phase, swing for 3k, stack for Thunder Charger, and now you have a format Zeus. Last of the XZs, Ptolemy M7. Pretty standard. Okay, guys, that's it for the deck profile. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I know I did. If you guys have any thoughts, comments, concerns, please leave it down in the comment section below. I really make it a priority to read all of your guys' comments and incorporate them into my deck list. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and have a nice day.